Thank you for coming to Manila to attend this important forum of interactive discussions about many issues. It's very unfortunate that our chief economist, Dr. Wei, was hospitalized. He said that he would can consider attending some part of it, but of course, cure is more important than attending seminar. This is the 7th International Policy Advisor Group for ADB, and we have had this work for together with the Earth Institute of Columbia University, headed by Professor Sachs, and we are very grateful to Professor Sachs to chair this kind of the meeting. Last time was October 2013, and unfortunately we couldn't do it last year. But last time it was in Bali, and it was hosted by Minister Bari, who is attending this meeting today. And at that moment, Professor Yoshino was attending, but he's now part of our group. This year we have 3 broad issues. One is growth drivers and quality of growth. There are many discussions how the world economy will grow or will recover. How about the American monetary policy, and how about the Greek problem and other European issues. Just before the Greek vote for whether they accept the Euro proposal or not, there was a referendum. And just before that, I was visiting Portugal and Spain as shareholders outreach. And I found that the adjustment in those countries is much more than many people imagine. Current account is improving a lot, and they are even attaining a surplus, and also fiscal deficit has been narrowed very much. And they successfully graduated from IMF program in case of Portugal, and in Spain, they graduated from Euro program, which supported the banking sector in Spain. So there are many progresses there. So even if there is a Greek issue, my finding was the spillover to peripheral countries. Many people are worried, but as far as today's situations of Spain and Portugal are concerned, they are so committed to structural adjustments. There is an issue of Chinese economy, and the stock prices have been down, and there were some interventions. In the 3rd plenum of a Central Committee's meeting the year before last, they had a very comprehensive reform programs, and I believe that they can grow further by focusing on service sector, on supply side, and consumption, private consumption in the demand side. But there are many discussions what can be the more normal growth. But anyway, it is very natural to believe that the resource-based growth, producing more steel, more materials, is now slowing down. So its impact on the world economy is obvious. And we also should think about what is the impact of lower oil prices. To most of Asian countries, it's of course positive element, but some countries like Central Asia and Indonesia to some extent are also suffering from lower natural resource prices, commodity prices. So what is the impact of it? And this theme also includes quality of growth. And this year we'll have the Sustainable Development Goals, which are successors to the multilateral development goals, and also we'll have COP21, and the ADB and other multilateral development banks are very important parts of financing SDGs and climate change. Our lending is about $13 billion last year. I mean, new commitment of lending, out of which about 20% is to the climate change-related financing, most of which mitigation. So I'd like to hear a lot of views about how the world can address these issues. And of course, Dr. Sachs is expert of these areas for years. The second theme is financial resilience and stability. And we are facing some challenges. As I said, there are many issues about macroeconomic situations of the countries. But after visiting more than 25 developing member countries, I have a view that leaders now have a very strong commitment to macroeconomic stability, sound macroeconomic policy. So in most of Asian countries, including the countries like Vietnam or Pakistan, which suffered from some instability from time to time, are now passing very sound macroeconomic policies and fiscal policies. And structural policies, there is no leader who wants to use import substitute or the intervention in prices and so on should be the macroeconomic policies. They are more committed to market-oriented economies. But whether they can really do what they are thinking is one issue, including reform of state-owned enterprises. The strength of the financial sector is a key, and in case of Asia, we have less, not as deep financial sector as advanced economies, and capital market, and also banking sector are still very important. So how to address the financial inclusion, deepening the financial system, how to integrate those systems regionally. These are the issues. And the third issues, final issues, and skills and infrastructure. There is no question that human capital and the physical capitals are the basis of growth. And in that regard, ADB is supporting especially education of TVET, what we call technical and vocational education and training. In many countries, the primary school enrollment is now very high, more than 90% in most of countries. But how to link the educations to the industrial needs is one key issue. And in many countries, including South Asian countries, India, Pakistan, and so on, and also in Mekong countries, we are trying to use private sector initiatives to link the needs of industries with the supply of educations involving PPP and so on. And in many countries also, the issues of improving quality of secondary education is important. And in Philippines, they are targeting extending school years from 11 to 12 years before the universities. So we are supporting the grading up of secondary educations. So there are many things we can think about education, but infrastructure is one of the key issues and challenges, focuses, partly because there is a discussion of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And I met President, the Secretariat Chairman of Mr. Jin, who was former Vice President for the ADB in Baku when we had an annual meeting there. And we agreed that the infrastructure is very important areas of focus in Asia, and it supports growth, but also poverty reduction. And safeguard policies about resettlement of people, environment, and so on are very important part of infrastructure, policies. And we will cooperate, including through co-financing. So we already start discussing with the Secretariat what kind of projects we can co-finance in coming months. Infrastructure financing is a very important issue, as I said. I would say there were more focuses about social sectors like education, health, and those are really important. But there is a kind of a revisited interest in how to promote the infrastructure. And PPP is a very important part of it. But of course, we need public investment based on the tax revenues instead of just applying PPP. PPP is important, but it shouldn't be used as a kind of off-budget financing of the public works. Many public works don't have enough revenue returns, and of course it should be taken care by the governments themselves. But by making the PPP prepared well, it can be bankable, and we are promoting a lot of PPP works in Philippines, for instance, and there are many opportunities. So how to use these things is one of the key issues. Of course, we need more money, but the more financing by MDBs, multilateral development banks, and new banks like AIIB or BRIC banks are not enough. We need better preparation of the projects. We need absorptive capacity of implementation, and we need a good safeguard policies. So all these things should be taken care in addition to strengthening our financing. Finally, at the ADB, we are now lending about $13 billion a year, but we are trying to increase it by 50% by combining our concessional lending window, what we call Asian Development Fund, which is equivalent of IDA of World Bank, with our ordinary capital resources to make leveraging available for supporting poorer countries. We didn't use any leverage. We didn't use bond issue for supporting poorest countries, but we know that they repay well. Their track record is very remarkable, and why not using leverage for supporting poorer countries? So we combined these two resources at the end of 2017, and we can increase our lending by 50% and 70% to poorer countries by using leverage. We'll keep our lending term to the poorest country the same, but still we can increase our lending by 70%. So instead of a welcome remark, I spoke too much about the substance already, but I hope today's and tomorrow's discussions will help understand the issues and also have some ideas about future course of ADB and the international community as a whole. So thank you very much again.
Thank you, Mr. President.